All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets alike, welcome back to another interview to know your community. Today, we got one of the community leaders, the most handsome guy I know to exist on the planet, GTheAiko. How you doing, G?
I'm doing good, Dave. I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here. It's pretty cool to be able to, connect with the communities and, do a little bit of outreach and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
enjoying
And
it.
now I know you're coming to Vegas, so we're gonna get into all of that because I want a lot of people want to see you in real life and they want to get some photos with you. So we're gonna know we're gonna kind of share with the community where you're gonna be while you're in
Yeah.
Vegas. I mean, on the broadcast days or on the tournament days. But
Yeah.
first I got one very important question. Like I have the urge to ask. I've been dying to know, is your name? Where the name
Yeah.
come from, and also, like I said, like before our interview, like if you read AIKO, it's like Aiko, right? See the Aiko. That's what I've seen if I look at it. But for you, it's something sexier. It's more just different. It's GTheAiko. So can you explain the
Yeah.
backstory of the name?
So my name like originated around like when I was younger. I used to go by a name called Gara XO, which was just my love for anime and Naruto, and in general just Gara from the
Yeah.
Naruto series. So in short, people used to call me G. So over time, I was just trying to create something very iconic, something that stood out.
Yeah.
So G just is short for what people used to call me back in the day. And since I idolized Gara a lot, right?
Yeah.
I decided to go with a Kaio. Of course, people say it differently than I do, but I felt like over time, if I'm trying to create my own persona, I
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
to create my own name. And of course, Akayo, I just kind of took it over from dealing with Gar, like, drew his love symbol on his forehead. And that's what Akayo means love in Japanese. People say it different than I do, but I like calling it Akayo. So,
Ah.
so it's just G the loved.
Oh
It's
my
just,
God, that is Japanese.
yeah,
Jesus, that is.
yeah.
Dude, I'm a Naruto fan. I grew up with it, so I can't believe. Okay, so your favorite character is Gaara, basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And by the way, for those who did not watch the show, don't worry about it. Gaara's amazing guy. He's probably one of the most loved character, most well-designed character in the entire anime. I'm a big fan. But okay, so now I guess one really important question a lot of people are dying to know. I'll set up your name. Is
Yeah.
like obviously I know that you actually work outside of being a caster, being a mobile legend streamer. So tell us about your life. Tell us like where do you live? Like not the exact address.
I got
but,
you. I got what you're
state
saying.
and stuff. So state just like the person behind the camera, right? Like how do you
Yeah.
grow up to be so handsome? Yeah, go ahead and tell us
Yeah,
about it.
so the handsome part, that's just genetics, no. Blame my mom and my dad, no. But I grew up, currently I live in Missouri. I'm like right dead center in the United States. I only have about 4 more months, and I'm actually graduating from college. And I'm actually right now, what I do outside of casting, outside of streaming and stuff like that, I'm actually an accountant for an insurance company. So I do a lot of stuff with money. I do a lot of stuff that's going to kind of build the future of what I really want to do, which is just
Sheesh.
being an entrepreneur.
Oh my goodness. Wait, are you studying at the same time?
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah, I
going to
go.
college
Yeah.
and you're taking how many hours right now?
I right now I take 12.
You're taking
So
a
I'm a full
full
time.
12-hour semester and you're working on the side as a content and you're also streaming and making content and casting? Dude,
Yeah.
how do you manage your schedule? Okay, tell us about like your schedule and
It's
stuff.
tough. It's tough. So I'm lucky enough that as in the accountant schedule side, I'm able to work a little bit more part time and do stuff like that. So with my job that I have, that I can work from home pretty much Tuesday through Thursday. I only go into the office on Mondays and Fridays. So
Okay.
and I only I do about like 5-hour shifts. So
Sheesh.
it's not like killer, but I make enough that I'm not like dying. I'm able to sustain and stuff like that. And then of course I just I get a decent amount of loans and stuff from my dad because he was in the military and stuff
Ooh.
like that. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm able to survive.
I gotta say that is so different and admirable because a lot of college students I knew when I was in college are just going to college, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I worked as an internship, I would work in the summer. But you are working while going to school while doing Mobile Legends. That's phenomenal. And I gotta say that is so different compared to like people know about pro players or casters in North America because people in other regions of the world they do it full time, you
Yeah.
know. And here it's just very different.
Yeah. I think we got a little bit more opportunities, I would say, in America and stuff like that. So it makes it a little bit easier. I'm, of course, fortunate enough that, my mother and my father's kind of been there for me the whole
Yeah.
time. And my mom's actually fully disabled. So I actually live in the house with her as well and do a lot of the stuff around the house. So
Oh my
I
goodness.
actually do a lot other than outside of streaming and stuff like that. Uh, and of course, I mean, it's kind of saddish, but my dad did pass away like 2 years ago, but he ended up like, leaving us with enough and paid off everything. So we're kind of just, I'm taking care of her, going to college to finish my degree, which is what he wanted to do, wanted me to do. If you see like, so this necklace that I have here, a lot of people don't know, but since my dad was in the military and stuff, this is like I got his like dog tags numbers and everything on
Oh
the
my
back of
God.
it and like in memory of him. So like every time you see this, it's kind of just like a memory that I keep. I keep him here with me and doing everything I love is always what he wanted me to do.
Oh my God. I, I'm dude. I have goosebumps all over my arms. Like I wanted to interview the person behind the scene. And guys, this is G. I mean, like, what can I say? It's this incredible person. So, like, let me ask you this: how do you get to know about Mobile Legends and casting in general? Because you're
Uh,
already such a busy student and working and taking care of the family and stuff. Like what even like what happened? How do you get to know the community?
Yeah, so it was a crazy coincidence to be honest. Like I when I first started my career, my streaming career and stuff like that, I actually was a Valorant streamer. So I was on Facebook. I kind of already had the following of like Philippines, overseas. I had a mixture of North America, so
Yeah.
it was already building that aspect that I've kind of built onto Mobile Legends.
Right.
And funny enough that I didn't even know about Mobile Legends at first. My buddy that you kind of hear sometimes in the backgrounds and everything, and of course he's right there. He actually told me about the game Mobile Legends, and I was like, it seems cool because I was kind of virgin from Valorant and stuff like that. So I looked into it and I just got into it really hard, and then I became the number one Zosk in the United States a couple seasons back, and then it just kind of took off. One day I was streaming and it was like boom, and I grew from there.
Number one's us. Nobody told me about that. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? Right? I didn't know I'm talking to the legend. God damn.
Yeah.
Dude,
Uh,
that's insane. So like, okay, so I guess then my other question is like, how do you even get into streaming to begin with, right? Because you streamed other games you mentioned. Like,
yeah.
were you always being a gamer and then you just wanted? Okay, people say, oh, it's a pandemic, let's stream something. Like, what happened about? What happened?
So I always grew like when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a content creator, and it took, to be honest, my biggest struggle was trying to. I was kind of young, like we didn't have the best internet, and I couldn't ever figure out how to start streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And then one day, I was like, I've always played video games. Like I played video games since I was like 8, since like
Yeah.
literally Nintendo 64, and I was even introduced to like I had like I think the Super Nintendo and like the Sega back then, but I was like
Sheesh.
really young, like
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? But so I played video games all the whole time. It's taken me, to be honest, a lot of research, a lot of commitment, and just constantly Google searching, constantly looking up videos on what settings are and stuff like that. And then just one day I got it right.
And you just went to town.
Yeah. I just kept going. I just kept going. I mean, if you ever went back to like my very first Facebook video of me playing, it was actually playing World of Warcraft. So I was on like a little bit of a nerdier level than most. And then I was like, this isn't something like it's not fun, it's not entertaining. I can't figure out how to connect and make it entertaining. So then I jumped on Valorant, and like you see my like twin size bed in the background with like a little bit of shelves and knickknacks and and I grew from there, and I was like, I just want to start streaming.
Dude, that is so interesting. Okay, so how do you get to know tracks and the casting? Because right now, I mean, not right now. Right now, you're obviously casting for NACT, but like just before NACT, you guys have done a phenomenal job with a different tournament in North America region called North America Squad League, NASL, and you guys did a phenomenal with that. So like, how do you even get into casting? How do you get to know the entire crew?
So I mean, I gotta give a big shout out to T-Rex, T-Rex Senpai, however you want to say his name. I call him T-Rex. When I first I was coming up as a streamer on Mobile Legends. I literally, like, it was maybe like a week or two into my Mobile Legends career. I was reaching out to a ton of people. And then all of a sudden, you can still even see the first time. I was actually reliving my past today. And I was going back on my Facebook. We actually did something called the Streamer International, which is where like a lot of us content creators that were on Mobile Legends, North America, of course, got together and we all did a 1v1 tournament. And of course, it was really fun. The community loved it. We all got to know each other from there. I met Bedhead there. I met A1C Tank. I met T-Rex. Ben had done there, and there was Imagine a Dot. There was quite a few of us content creators that all got together to do this, And you got to give a shout out to, of course, T-Rex. I mean, he was the one that kind of set everything up, and of course we reached out to everybody, and then we all just became like really good friends, and we just stick together, and we kind of do content together all the time, and of course, like a lot of us are actually going to be meeting first time in Vegas. So it's going to be absolutely crazy. This like year and a half, almost 2 year span where we've built as a friendship, and now we're finally going to be able to get to meet.
I'm excited for that, man. Like, I will be there meeting everybody as well. Like, I'm really, really excited because this is the first LAN event ever that the entire community is going to come together. And I think like there's a long way ahead, right? Because this community is going to grow bigger and bigger, and more new faces are going to come in. So I guess my next question is related to like basically the tournament itself, NACT. Because obviously you've been casting, been watching, been rebroadcasting, doing watch parties. We're not gonna talk about the top teams, all right? I'm not gonna talk about Ackerman, Team Valley, or some of those big dogs. Let's talk about the black horses, right? Like the teams that you think has the chance, surprising chance, that might be being in Vegas, that might be like even going to M4, right? Who do you think, if there's a team like that, who do you think it is in current NACT?
I gotta give a shout out to Vendetta. They're looking really good.
Yeah,
I'm not lying. Like they've done some pretty cool, crazy things. They, if I'm not mistaken, they ended up taking out the Simpsons and sending them to the lower bracket. So, I mean, that right there's a huge feat, because the Simpsons, of course, like play with all of these top teams, and I mean, a lot of the top teams in the NACT have been like training nonstop in the NASL, not for huge amounts of money, but it all comes down to the foundation that they're building something, and then now they're showing it here in something that's sponsored by Mobile Legends. So Vendetta is just, I mean, they might be the black horse, I would say that's my pick,
Dude, you're absolutely right. One thing about Vendetta when we interview their players is that there's a lot of backstory to it. Like, this team is also 5 friends, like a few friends that just like know each other and played really well with each other. They're not really like shooting for the stars, shooting for the moon per se. They're just really good friends and really good players coming together. And that's so neat because the caster community is similar. You know, if you think about it, like everybody in the community is just so close. And that's why I think, especially for you and T-Rex, you know, it's able to bring such an exciting show together. You know, you guys have a really good synergy. The transitions are just flawless. I think a lot of people, when I interview T-Rex or Trex, it's a similar thing. People don't notice those transitions, but it's stuff that you guys practice behind the scene. So, okay. So one last question I have for Vegas. Serious questions, okay? For Vegas, so what are some fun things that you look forward to, you know, besides watching the tournament, obviously? You know, tell us about it. Biggest plans.
Another crazy thing about me is that I've actually never really left Missouri. So this is huge for me. I've never been on a plane. I've never traveled. Like this is going to be like a huge step for me, you know. So it's going to be absolutely crazy. I don't know what I really want to do in Vegas. I know that I'm probably, once I get there and, you know, at night or something, I'm probably going to be looking at a lot of stuff. And of course, it's still coming up. Some hobbies that I really like, or, you know, that I like to kind of do in my free time, if I have any, is like Legos. And I've heard that they have a really cool Lego place, like a Lego land there. So I thought about that. And then another like kind of nerdy side of me is that I've been a huge fan of like the History Channel and stuff, and the Pawn Stars is there. So I thought maybe like I might like take a trip and kind of see some of the iconic areas in Vegas that I've always thought about, you know.
Wait, hold up. Are you at a legal age to?
I am.
Okay. Just want to know. You know, somebody.
I'm 27.
Okay. You don't look. You know, you look like, because you said you're a college student and you have always been the cleanest. When I say cleanest, I mean like. Because you don't have beard, right? I mean, look at Trax, for example. Trax, you can't tell his age. Because I remember going to college. I have a friend who like freaking 19 years old. He has a beard. And then you look like freaking 30 or some shit. And then he shaved that beard off. Baby face. You're like, what just happened? And he said, Dave, that's exactly why I had a beard. Oh, okay.
I've tried, man. Like, of course, it grows out sometimes, but I like keeping it slim and trim, you know. And,
trust me, you have a beautiful face. I can't believe this is Trax. This is G's first time taking a plane and getting outside. This is absolutely insane because we're gonna have a blast. 30th. After the entire event is finished, we're gonna go out. Everybody gonna eat together, and we're gonna have a huge celebration event. Oh my god, I cannot wait to hang out with everybody.
I can't.
So G,
I'm excited.
One last thing. Anything that you want to say to your viewers? Because guys, we're going to link G's entire social medias in description. Make sure to go follow this guy. It's been fantastic. Go talk to him in the chat. Go support the stream. And then, you know, any finance question you might have, there you go. There's an expert. You know, in Mobile Legends, you can find anyone you want. So make sure to go follow him. So G, anything you want to say to your followers or supporters, or just your current supporters who are watching this interview?
Yeah, so the only thing I'd like to say is that, you know, I've always built my channel and all of my content at like empowering the community, empowering people, and kind of just connecting everybody, which is what we've done as the content creators and what I've kind of grown up as a content creator. So definitely need anything, always reach out to me. My Discord's always available. Of course, I do scrims like crazy. If I'm not streaming, most likely I'm hosting a scrim. So if there's anybody, small, big, medium, large, I'm there for you. Just reach out to me, and I can always help you out.
All right, that's about to wrap it up for us today. This is the man of the hour. Make sure to go follow G with the link in description. With that, Ascended signing off. We'll see you guys in the next one.